Hey everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jess and I'm going to be dropping everything on this channel of everything I have learned over the past 5.5 years of being a day trader. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button. Then you'll be alerted when new videos are available. If you guys have any specific questions, as always, drop it down in the comments so I can either get back to you or make a video on the specific questions you guys might have about trading. So today we're going to go over why do 95% of retail day traders fail and how you can overcome that with discipline and your mindset. This is something in my team, which I will have the link down below. If you guys want to join the team, you're more than welcome. We'd love to have you. If you are not into joining teams and that is just not your thing, and you just want free education on YouTube, I am happy to provide that too. So, with that being said, our group goes over this all the time, every single day, every morning. So, when we look at this and we say, why do most day traders fail? So, there's a lot of things that do go into this, and it's very interesting and it's primarily psychology driven. So, lack of a trading plan. What does that look like? I'm going to go over trading plans more in depth. I did do a high level trading plan. You can go search it in the videos, but a lack of a trading plan, knowing where you sit, knowing what your set of rules are, having certain things set in place to have your roadmap to where you're going and how you're going to get there. Over leveraging and poor risk management. What does that typically look like? That looks like getting into maybe a prop firm account where you have access to 15 full-size contracts and you full port it. What does full porting mean? Taking all those 15 contracts and entering a buy or sell position. So that could be over leveraging. And then risk management, not understanding your risk management, not understanding if you are in your personal account or a prop firm account and you have $2,000, right? Whether that be a personal account or a prop firm account, if you do not have proper risk management, you just threw away $2,000 of your hard earned money, or you have to rebuy a challenge account with a prop firm, right? So having that correct risk management is going to really set you apart with being a profitable day trader or being in the 95% bubble of failing day traders. And then emotional decision making. So fear and greed go hand in hand. Cannot have the fear without the greed, in my opinion, and working with traders and my personal journey, right? Fear and greed are something you will experience. You will get into a trade that you probably know you should not be in. You'll start to get the fear in your chest of, oh my gosh, I just made a bad decision. I'm being greedy, and probably end up making bad decisions. And I always say if you start to feel that fear and that greed, the anxiety, close the trade immediately. And then unrealistic expectations. I know that social media has made this extremely hard to have realistic expectations of how this works and what this looks like. A lot of people don't stop think how long it's taken certain people to get to where they're at, and they just see the flashy high dollar numbers thrown out, the vehicles, the houses, the quick wealth. That is the furthest thing from the truth. If you're someone who is thinking about becoming a day trader or wanting to become a day trader and be successful at it, you need to get the idea of get rich quick. I'm going to be, quitting my day job next week. That is not the case. This is not get rich quick. This is very methodical, planned out, figuring out yourself, and really learning who you are as a trader to become profitable. So, the other side of this too is being very inconsistent with your strategy and your executions and maybe getting in and out of trades, right? Maybe you're flip-flopping a lot, or you're getting into a trade with the NQ contract and then you're panicking, you're closing the trade, and then you're getting in with the MNQ contract and then Your psychology is off because you just watched NQ give you, $400, and then you get in with MNQ and it's giving you like 180. So it can really mess with the psychology of trading, and that could be a potential reason why you're not seeing success with trading. And then discipline. So if you are not a disciplined person and you've never been one, it is time to learn discipline. And this goes into your everyday life, not just trading. So if you are not somebody who is disciplined in your everyday life, it's going to be extremely hard for you. And these are, you know, full transparency, the bluntness of trading. I know this is kind of hard sometimes for people to hear, but if you are just not somebody who is disciplined, trading is not going to work for you. I want to be as transparent as possible. And if you know that you're just not that type of personality, then maybe trading is not for you. But if you can learn to become disciplined, it's never too late. It's never too late to start over, to start fresh, to start to pick up good habits, right? So, sticking to your trading plan every day, following your risk management rules, accept that losing is part of this process, right? Losing is a learning event. So rewiring your brain, or, putting the idea that I'm going to lose into your head, and knowing it and accepting it and being able to walk away from it when you take that loss, because that is what is going to set you apart from being the profitable to the unprofitable. If you cannot accept losing, if you are too prideful, if you just can tell yourself that, oh, I'm not going to lose, I got this, that is not true. Because sometimes the market, it could be your setup and you don't have your risk management under control. You don't have your trading plan. You don't know how and when you're going to get out of the market. You don't have those pieces in place, then no matter what, you probably will take a loss. So being very transparent with yourself and putting your pride to the side and knowing that it is part of the process to become profitable is going to save you in the long run. And then the revenge trading. I'm sure you guys, if you were interested in trading and you have heard this, I'm sure revenge trading is something that happens to all of us. And anybody who says they haven't revenge trade is probably lying to you. But avoiding it at all cost. Some days it is hard and the market will upset you and you were like, no, no, I'm gonna win, and you full port and you revenge trade and then you blow your account. Or you see certain numbers on your screen, you're up $1,200, and then you watch it reverse on you and you close the trade because you panicked, and now you're at $800. You saw that $1,200 and you're like, I'm gonna go get that back. That's revenge trading. Or maybe you're down 600 and you're like, I could fix this. And then you end up being down 800 and you're like, I'm going to fix it. And then you're down 1,000 and then you end up blowing your account. So there's multitude of ways that revenge trading comes in your mind as you're trading that day, and recognizing it and being able to walk away from it. And then consistency. This is going to build your confidence. The more consistent you can be every single day that you show up to the charts is going to build your confidence as a trader. If you are not being consistent, and what does that look like? Obviously, this is going to look a lot different for every single person, but being consistent, showing up on the charts every single day at the same time, having the same morning routine. Maybe it's as simple as waking up, making your bed, getting on the chart, or having your glass of or cup of coffee, having your green tea, whatever your consistency looks like for you, try to replicate that every single morning. You have the same emotional discipline going into that trading day so you can show up for yourself. So that's just going to create that confidence that you can do this. It is attainable, right? And then developing the right mindset. So when we talk about your mindset, and we go a lot into this into in my group, I've done a ton of self-development, and learning the mindset of being a profitable trader, again, will look different for a lot of people, but having the patience, having the resilience, having that objectivity to trade what you see and not what you feel. Having that growth mindset and then focusing on the process of it. So patience is definitely going to be your best friend when you're trading. It's it's not just going to happen all at once, right? So that goes back to the get rich quick, right? This is a patience game. It's showing up every day and watching these numbers stack up. It's a pretty incredible thing when you can accomplish that patience. And then the resilience side of this, being somebody that is resilient, being able to be pushed down 9 times and get back up the 10th time and do it again, right? So having the resilience with losses, having the resilience to get up when you don't want to, being resilient to the idea that you could blow your entire account, you could blow all your funded accounts, and being resilient enough to come back and do it again because you know you've already done it once. If you've done it once, you can do it again. It's a rinse and repeat. And then trade what you see, not what you feel. This one's a little bit tricky because as you grow as a trader, you will start to feel some things because you've seen this pattern, you know, repeat itself, or your intuition is like, I know this is gonna go up because news, volatility, zones, whatever it may be. But with that being said, also the trade what you see, not what you feel, as far as making sound decisions because it is your setup or it is a plus setup or you see that it's doing certain things and you're not just reacting off of emotion. So a little bit of a gray area there. And then the growth mindset, remember reframing your mindset to the loss is a learning experience. You're learning from every single trade you take. That's why journaling is so important. Having those voice memos, taking a video of yourself, or actually writing it down. Whatever works for you, do it because it's a learning experience and understanding the way you tick as a person. And then focus on the process, not the immediate results. I promise you, if you focus on the process, take the little base hits sometimes, especially when there's terrible price action, or maybe we've had major news that has come out. This year has definitely been very different in trading for me than any other years with, you know, everything we have going on the news. Last year we had some ups and downs, so I think this year though, pretty incredible. So let's talk about the steps to overcome though the trading failure. So again, we've already really touched on most of this, and we've can read this and watch, you know, so many different things and learn so many different things. But at the end of the day, if you're trading, right, this is your trading journey. Yes, you can start to, I know I put invest in continuous education, all of those other steps we've talked about, creating and following your plan, journaling, and then risk management, and then discipline with routines, routines in daily life and routines with trading. Once you routine oriented, it's that rinse and repeat. And then with the invest in continuous education, yes, it's great to immerse yourself in more trading knowledge, but at some point there comes a point where you have everything you need. You have the pieces to the puzzle, you know your strategy, you know your plan, you know what you're doing. What kind of education could you do? You could do self development. You could start to psychology books. You could read memoirs about people who have traded, some of the things they do, just to widen your horizons about other people and the way that they view things. It's going to not only make you a better, well-rounded person, maybe a better partner, better sibling, better husband or wife. All of these things go together with trading, and I don't think it's touched on enough or spoken about enough because you have to have certain things to overcome failure in life, right? And this goes with anything. People who experience trauma, people who had terrible upbringings, um, people who've, you know, just had not, you know, anything handed to them, people who don't have a background in this, right? I never had a background in this. My parents, I don't come from money. I never knew anything about the stock market. I stumbled upon it and then never looked back. So, the education side of that, the continuous education can look very different. It does not have to be just trading. It is getting yourself out of the box that either your parents or society has kind of put you in, not being able to learn about other things, I guess. I was, brought up in a very rural area. We didn't have access to a lot of things. We're on the lower income side of, people. So investing in those things and kind of really learning and thinking outside the box is going to do you a world of wonder when it comes to trading. So, with all of that being said, the conclusion to this is that most traders do fail because the discipline, the mindset, and the structure with strict discipline, the risk management, the right mindset, and then you can do this though. I'm proof of that. I am proof of that. There's other people online seeing certain things. Long term success is achievable with the right mindset, with the right discipline, with following rules. You'll hear me on some of my videos even saying, like, today was not a day that I was able to be rule based, right? Sometimes I do not follow my rules and it works out, but I would say 95% of the time you need to follow your rules to be a profitable trader. So as always, guys, if you have questions, if you need clarification on anything, drop it in the comments. If you got this far in the video, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button. You'll be alerted when there is a new video. You can hit the bell icon up there too. And I'm going to be making all of this content. If you guys have specific ideas for content that you want me to make a video on, feel free to drop it in the comments. As always, I will see you guys in the next video.